We're back on the Chef You and I with Amy Ott of Clustermans, and it's been so fun. I had never made bread pudding, and I called a couple of my because I really am. I do a lot of different things, but I just don't do a lot of desserts.
Yeah.
Because they have to be really light desserts. But I love bread pudding. I get it at a lot of different restaurants that I go to. So when I saw the recipe come across the thing, I went, oh no, bread pudding.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to make. I actually made one ahead of time. But we're going to show our audience how easy it is to make it. Now let's talk about what we're going to use, Amy, in this recipe.
Okay, we're going to start with our bread, which this is actually a combination of leftover
everything.
Yeah, hamburger buns. We got some wheat bread in here. We got some heels, white bread heels.
Okay.
And you don't have to cut them up like real nicely like you do the croutons.
Actually, what I did was I tore them up because that's what it says to do.
Yep, just like that. And I guess I should have put it in
Let's
that bowl.
put it in here first. Okay, and I'll do that.
Okay.
And I actually love heels. They're so much fun. I actually like heels better than any other part of the bread, especially for toast. And usually what I do for breakfast, I'll have either an omelet made with egg beaters, and then I'll have a piece of bread, or I'll do poached eggs. I love poached eggs.
Yeah.
But I have a little recipe for you.
Okay.
What you do with and I always use Klosterman bread when I'm toasting my bread.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We appreciate your
loyalty.
That's
all right, because you have bread that has actually less calories, and it has like all the vitamin D's, and you guys were the first ones that I thought that had a lot of whole wheat bread and bread that's really healthier for you. So this is really easy. You can get your kids to do this.
Yes, this is a great one to get the kids involved because you're just ripping up bread.
I have to move this because you can't see. Our camera guys can't see what we're doing here. And this is really the easiest recipe that I've ever done, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
That's awesome.
We made the other day. We made an angel food cake. We didn't make the angel food cake. We bought it, but it was a light sugar-free one. And we put Cool Whip and strawberries
that sounds
and
delicious.
all kinds of cool stuff. But we used, because we were doing a sugar-free one, we used sugar-free cheesecake pudding.
What?
Yes, awesome. I think our bread is done in the oven. We just heard that our croutons. Okay, so we just do all of this, right?
Yep.
Okay, and that's pretty simple to do. And this could equal, if you didn't have heels and stuff, this could equal about 6 slices, right?
Yeah, or a little more,
bread.
depending on if you want to make a bigger
bread
pudding.
Let me look at the oven for a minute. Are those done or not?
Yeah, I would say I would call them done unless you want them more brown.
A little bit more brown.
Okay.
Okay, let's leave them in there. Okay, now what's the next step here?
All right, we're going to mix together our custard, which consists of 4 beaten eggs, which I have already measured.
Or could you use egg beaters?
You can use egg beaters, and you can replace a whole egg with 2 egg whites. So
that's great.
You can substitute that to make it lighter.
Okay. And then what?
And then we're going to add 2 cups of milk, and I'm using a 1% milk. And
to make it even better for us. I'm wondering with the sugar if you could use a sugar substitute or agave. I wonder if you could do that.
I think you can.
You
definitely,
can?
because this is just helping adhere the bread together. It's not standing on its own.
It's not like a pudding or anything like
so
that.
you could probably substitute honey in there if you wanted to, or just cut back on the sugar.
On the sugar? Okay.
Or maybe use a brown sugar, which has a stronger flavor, and use less.
All right. Okay, now what?
So now we're going to add in our sugar.
Yeah.
And we want to whisk this together.
Okay, I thought I had a whisk here. I'm not sure, but we can use this.
Okay. And also going to add in a teaspoon
of cinnamon.
Okay. I love cinnamon. And cinnamon's great for blood sugar regulation as well.
It really is. It's great. And I love cinnamon. Absolutely. With French toast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's really good. When I was a kid, we just used cinnamon and a little tiny bit of sugar And that was it. And don't forget the vanilla.
Yes, we're going to do a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm using a half teaspoon measure, so that's why I did 2. And
now I put the raisins on top when I was doing it.
Yeah, you can add it straight into your bread. You don't have to add it into the wet mixture.
The mixture? Mm-hmm. Okay. So what are you going to do?
So we're going to add it on top of the bread.
Here's this. I'm going to give it to you.
All right.
And I'm going to move this over here, and I'm just going to make this up a little bit more.
And just
that looks like fun. Do you like bread pudding?
Yes, I do like bread pudding. And I like to kind of experiment with different flavors.
Yeah, I can imagine cranberries might be good in there too. Those
dried cherries.
Dried cherries.
I'm a sucker for dried cherries.
Those are really good for you, especially if you have gout. Cherries, white
really?
cherries
I didn't
are great.
know that.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
And you can make this a savory bread pudding too if you had leftover rye bread.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Have a whole new twist on it.
New twist on it? Okay. All right, let's do this.
Okay, so then you add your wet mixture on top of the dry. And you can let this sit overnight, and all the bread will help soak up the custard. Mm-hmm. And just kind of make sure
it says to push it down. It said to push it down.
Yep, make sure you get
everything covered, and then we're going to put butter on top of it.
Yeah.
Now, I did it a little different when I made it the first time. I actually made it with melted butter.
Yes, you can do that, or this way it just kind of saves you a step by adding little tabs around because it'll melt anyway in the oven.
I saw up on your website or your Facebook or whatever that you do an orange sauce sometimes with your bread pudding, but we're not doing it with orange sauce. We're going to use a little bit of light Cool Whip.
Yes, and some fresh fruit.
And some fresh fruit. That'll be really cool. So now we're going to put this in the oven. And how long will this stay in the oven?
Preheated 350-degree oven for about 30 to 35 minutes, and just kind of check it after that. You can leave it in for about 2 to 5 minute increments.
Okay, so we're going to put this in the oven, and we're going to take out our croutons.
Yes.
And there's some gloves right in there.
Right in here.
In the drawer underneath. Oh. And there they are. And then that way, and we want to show that. You can bring it out over here and show everybody what it looks like. That looks really great.
Nice and crunchy. And
oh, yeah. I can't wait. And you know, when you think about it, there's so many, there's a lot of holidays that you can do this, and you might have to go out and buy a bag of, because you're not sure how old those croutons may be. I like to make my own fresh croutons, so I think it's a lot of fun, actually.
And you can season them however you want. So
yeah, without garlic.
Without garlic, absolutely.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to actually take our salad that we have, unless we have to take a short break. We need to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
On the Chef Q&A.